G'day everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tackleworld Marks Point. This Friday's fishing report, and what a day. It is just absolutely perfect. We're up here at Swansea Heads at the moment, and of course looking back on towards that southern bombing on the back of Moon Island there. Sea conditions at present beautiful, around about a metre thereabouts as swell. And the forecast for today and definitely tomorrow is going to be northwest winds around about 5 to 10 at very best, and of course some westerlies as we move into next week. Cooler weather. Tuesday can be quite cool, but you've got to take advantage of it. There's a cracking tide this weekend. Today 6 o'clock high tide, tonight, tomorrow morning around about 6:45. You need to try to take advantage of these westerly winds and these flat conditions. All of these inshore reefs running south down towards Bird Island and up towards Reddit at the present moment are producing a lot of very nice snapper fish, 40 to 60 centimetres. There are some better fish on these inshore reefs. You don't need to fish too deep. Anywhere from around about 20 to 30 metres is the pick. Some beautiful fish getting caught, both on lures I might add, and of course floating bait pillies or strip squid down that Burley trail. Still a few bonito around, and of course up towards Redhead, Wyebung in particular, and even a few reports of up off Merriweather. There's a few trag getting caught. Again, that situation, you know, north of here the trag around 45 centimetres. The further south you go, the better they get, 60s, 65s. But some beautiful fish getting caught on these inshore reefs. Still quite a few flatted around, of course, and a lot of trevally. And when you're burling and using your pellets or your bread or your wheat, they're the fish that are going to come up. Floating baits are best by far. Look, on the beaches, it's been a little bit of a mixed affair, but there's plenty of beautiful gutters on that Belmont Redhead stretch. Some beautiful brim getting caught, and the tailor is still just a bit sporadic, you know. They're coming in. We are going into that dark phase. We're losing all of that moon at the moment. But what's happened this week, we've seen a real influx of quality tailor into Lake Macquarie. I was able to get out there yesterday afternoon. Best fish went to 57. I got my 10 in quick time. These fish are spread right throughout the lake. Got a couple of reports there last night. In fact, north, some of the fish were only sort of around that 35 to 40, but there have been a few better fish in that Toronto area. But the deeper water out in the middle of the lake, obviously Coal Point to Fishing Point, Coolborough Island, in and around that Cairns Beach area there, there's plenty of fish there. Look for the turns. The turns are the key. Don't worry about so much the seagulls. It's got to look for these turns. They're working the surface. Yesterday was a good example. Had a couple of divers out running through, had a casting lure ready, looking for those birds. The turn started to bust up. Fish were just spraying out of the water, and I was able to just cast chromies and or shallow divers straight into those bait schools and catch some beautiful tailor. There's a lot of guys going out there today, getting some results this afternoon as those guys come back in. But there's some beautiful tailor in the lake at the present moment, as is brim. And I know Johnny Frith from work had a fish last night. Haven't had a report from him, but I know they've been getting some tremendous fishing on Wednesday afternoon. I cut through Belmont Bay, had a bit of a troll. As I was going across the sand flats there was that many brim around, it was crazy. A lot of smaller schoolfish, I must say. Fish, you know, maybe 23s to 28s. But as you move through that school, there were a lot of individually bigger fish. And I know I was talking to Hilly yesterday. He got some nice fish up around that 46 to 47 centimetre mark. I did see him in his little secret spot there yesterday as I ducked through. Won't give too much away, but he's been doing very, very well fishing that late afternoon, and the oily baits, pillies, mullet strips and alike are proving to be the key. And the other thing is, when you're fishing in these shallow areas on that run-in tide of an afternoon, you will get a lot of bust-offs because you're going to have quite a few tailor come through. Dave Hutton was in yesterday. He got a nice outfit, ducked out on the lake, got some beautiful tailor and some really nice brim. And yesterday afternoon, he tucked up on one of those edges. You got a beautiful fish of 40 centimetres again on that oily based bait, but made comment that it was getting bit off. And this was about an hour before dark. So the amount of tailor in the lake at the moment is tremendous, and it's great to see such quality fish around. Look, if the fish are only small, you've just got to move around a little bit and you'll find there's better fish. As I say, there's been some great reports on tailor this week. It's really good to see, and I think this weekend is a great opportunity to get out there and have a bit of a go, because look, these conditions won't last forever. There's still a few mulloway around the late afternoons, but squid, a bit tough to find, so you may have to sort of, like, you know, delve into the freezer and grab a few of the frozen ones out. or get a few of the lund squid to just make it a little bit better. All in all, this weekend looks absolutely perfect. There's no excuse. We've just got to get out there and have a bit of a go. This week's Tackleworld Fish of the Week winner is the very, very reliable Grant Slender. And we probably should put his dad in on this, Steve, as well. These guys have been very, very consistent, fishing not too far south from here, and have been getting some beautiful reds this week. And look, it's great to see getting out there, those floating pilchards working. Congratulations, Grant. Come up to the warehouse and we'll deck you out with some of our Tackleworld equipment. Guys, let's make it count and get out there. I'll see you next Friday. I'm excited.